So my brain's spinning because, I run the London Real Academy. And so what I do is I've patched together a wonderful reality for people to interact and learn, but I've done it all with these Web 2 tools. And so we have Zoom calls, we have videos on a platform they can watch. I've got a group where they upload videos to see each other, try to go through these tricky challenges, and we get people to open up, and we actually create amazing communities. And we used to have graduation ceremonies before the lockdown, and people would fly from all around the world, and they come in our studio, and these people would start hugging each other. Yeah. And the only thing that confused them was how tall they were. They thought this person was short, this tall. Yeah. And they would say, Brian, I already know this person. Yeah. But I just met them. Yeah. I was like, I get emotional because they're like, I know them. I'm closer to them than I am to my family or my next door neighbor because we have been open and honest and we shared these experiences together. But I'm still thinking I'm not giving them any of these things you talk about. Like, again, you need the attention span. You're watching a 2D video. Imagine if I could create these pieces that would turn learning from, this regurgitation that we have of what we created in Britain, probably the Industrial Revolution, to something that's gamified and massively interactive. And imagine how many, the higher quality of life, the greater humans we would be able to create.
Yeah, and imagine if you could do that, not by taking us away to the next stage of some kind of antiseptic digital world, but by building on the best of Web 2. The part that I'm actually emotional hearing about what you've built there. I'm not looking to replace that. I'm looking to say, wow, that's incredible. These people really are connecting to each other as humans, not humans to information about humans like Instagram. It's not a FOMO fest. This is people really getting to know each other. Let's not lose that. Let's capture the essence of that and enhance it. Yeah. Let's find a way to bring that back as the central premise and our goal.
Yeah. All right, to be continued. I'm getting more excited. Let's talk about events, and let's talk about bringing a bunch of people into a metaverse, because it's something people have talked about for a long time. It's something that some platforms have kind of promised, but we've also found out sometimes later that some platforms can't provide group experiences at scale.
That's right.
And again, we never got to see what we always hoped it would be. And I know you had a success, I think, with something you built for Google that I saw as a demo, again, on that same call that you were on and Colin was on, that again blew everybody away. Can you talk a little bit about what was built for Google and this kind of the scale and the size of it?
Yeah. I think it's important to note what you just said. It's not just that some of these metaverses don't operate at scale in the way we're talking about it. I don't think anyone really does. They have a notion. It's misleading. It's called sharding. So essentially you get to 50, 100 people, 150. Once you get to that, it kind of craps out. And so to simulate a lot of people, you make a parallel universe of that, and the 101st person goes there, and the 201st goes there. So if you say, hey, meet me at such and such, the chances you're going to run into your friend or coworker is very low, right? As it gets big.
And that number is, like you said, that kind of an order of magnitude, like 100, 150. Yeah. You're never going to see more than 150 unique people on that space.
Yeah, and even some of the more prominent ones, it's even down to 50.
Right.
And that's okay for certain use cases. There's several elements that has to go into making something like this successful, only one of which is scale, but scale is one. And what you need to be able to do when you think about, again, the idea of a better website, with every website having a come inside button, right? It's going to feel naked if you go to a website and it's just a bunch of information. You can't go in and see who else is there and talk to folks related. But you want to be able to run into people in this kind of vast world, again, simulating the real world. You don't go to Yankee Stadium and they put you in a little box and say, don't worry, it's still better than being at home. I promise you there's 80,000 other people here, but you can only see 50. It's like, are you sure? I'm not sure I really feel in this, right? To feel it, it has to be real. So that's what Vatom's done. Again, we've brought the real world and the digital world together. A website of unimaginable scale. You just go, and the next, and the next, and the next. And one of the fallacies, one of the things I think that we hit on early is it does matter what it looks like, yes, but that's not the most important thing that matters. The most important thing that matters is other people. It's the social aspect of it. there's a thing called Minecraft. There's a thing called Roblox. These things didn't become successful because they had, oh my God, you could see the light shining through the window and the dew on the leaves are looking exactly right. They're fun. They're interesting. You run into people. There's like achievements you can have and things you can build. You have to take a lesson from this stuff, you know? Back in the day, we've learned a lot of these lessons already. People want to be with people. And so what we've built in this platform, number one, is scale. Number two, as we spoke about before, is the seamless integration of all the other pieces to make it worthwhile at all. You mentioned how hard it was for you to get your MetaMask set up or things like that. Well, you can't, if you go to a Google and you say, okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to keep track of what people are doing and give them, achievements into their wallet. So just tell them to log in with their MetaMask. Okay, fine. Just be sure that you're ready to lose 96% of your audience, right? If you're lucky. That's not possible. But how about if you're just logged in at all, which maybe you don't even have to log in, because what Vatom does, again, enterprise class identity federation, so you're already logged into your system or you're in. And what if you automatically have a pocket to put things in? There's no like log in, make a thing, 12 number 20. And now, what if that wallet was your wallet, connected back to your identity? So after the event, you had now an ongoing communication channel with that person again. Again, that ongoing communication channel. So with Google, they had a set of requirements. They're a sophisticated group and really, I think, thought about why would you want to do something like this? Like we've done a lot of thinking about this. People come to us all the time and say, we want to do a metaverse project. We don't say, oh, great, use our platform. We say, why? Why would you want to? You certainly wouldn't go to a party and it looks nice and you say, well, that was a great party, but I didn't have anything to do. And I didn't meet anyone interesting, and it was a hassle, but it looked cool. Like, okay, but you'd never go back, right? The purpose of this thing, again, from our view, has to start with your business outcomes that you're attempting to achieve. What data do you want to gather? Who do you want to please? Who do you want to bring back? So you set up these metrics, right? And then when you look at Google's, which scale was one of them, low-end devices was another one. Seamless integration with the ability to get points for doing various things, leaderboards, the ability to gamify things, ability to user-generated content. All of these things have to start to work together with an underlying platform that then gives you the requisite analytics, lets you follow up with people later, lets you integrate with existing systems. We ended up in a class of our own in terms of the competition to win that. And that was one of the more exciting things at first, is just to see, well, it wasn't easy to, spend the years to build ahead of the market and then to see the requirements converge with that. So that was an exciting opportunity. The next thing was, of course, the results. Wow, how cool. It really was interesting to see that where normally you might have to say, you can invite a certain number of people, but you couldn't expect to run into whatever. Here they invited like 20,000 people. At any given time, there's probably 11,000 came in and did different things. And leaderboards, if you were to watch a certain video, for instance, you could get a badge of achievement for watching past a certain amount of it. And then if you hadn't, you couldn't get through certain tunnels. Yeah. And it would stop you. Say, oh, well, that's not fair. My friend just went through. Oh, well, then watch the video, right? Watch it, comes in. That's called token gating. Token gating is useless if the token that you put it in, the wallet that you're putting the token in, is too hard to use. So it all has to be seamless, it all has to work, and all has to scale together. And we saw it all come together there. So it was really quite extraordinary a moment to say, not only is this a future of how you're going to run into each other, but the human connections that were made there. So you see people networking and running into old friends, getting something out of it that you wouldn't have, maybe even if it was there in person, right? Which is kind of cool. Yeah. And it's, to me, that kind of shows the kind of evolution of the tools, the extension, put it that way. Again, we're not replacing almost anything. There are some things we are, but we're not replacing Zoom. We're not replacing Teams. These are amazing tools that do their purpose, but it extends it into something really important. And I think that got proven out there at scale. Not the only place. We're now seeing as I say, most companies are recognizing that their websites are always going to need to get better. It was hard to get them to do it in the first place. Why would they need a website, right? That was a challenge we had for a while. Not hard to make a better one once it's part and parcel of your communication strategy. So now the ability to say, add a come inside button, have people meet there, whether it's customer service or an adventure or something that you want to show in more detail, something more memorable, that's now coming. A lot of the ways that this starts is with virtual events, because you want to try it out and you have something where people are there in person, especially pandemic helped with that. Some people are there in person, some aren't. But as work now evolves, we're finding people aren't going back the way they were. We're never going back the same way.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.